Welcome to the next episode. For this you're going to see our homage to his last bow that we are calling his last deduction. In this show, you'll see nothing that's been set up. Everyone that's given their time has done so of their own free will, and they've been informed that if they are to see anything that they don't like, or anything that's happening that isn't exactly how I say it's happening, they are to squeal, shout, raise the roof on exactly what's going on.
So Ben?
Yes?
Quiche? It would appear we can't film
No.
the things that we came to film
No.
in this place.
Too many people making eggs in there. So
Yeah.
They're on poacher watch. That's
Bloody heck.
dad jokes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the next episode of The Deductionist, called his last deduction, that we are basing on the last of the short stories from the Sherlock Holmes canon, his last bout. We are redoing, in our way, retelling some of our favourite stories from the Sherlock Holmes canon.
Why?
So the effects would help people to reach the stories who maybe wouldn't have picked them up before, so that they too can enjoy the majesty and the intelligence that is the Sherlock Holmes canon. So it's going to fall along the same lines as the episodes that you've seen previously. We're going to be retelling this story through the medium of our effects. So what kind of a story is it? Well, technically speaking, it's not your traditional Sherlock Holmes piece. When we encounter Mr. Holmes as part of the story, he's already long since retired, well into his beekeeping. But picture this. It's the eve of the First World War. Von Berg, a German spy, essentially, has spent years gathering intelligence on the country, and he's at the cusp of being able to pass it on to those who need it, those who have asked him to gather it. So what does it take to do that? What type of deception do you have to portray? What type of practices do you have to see through in order to be able to gain this kind of information against your enemies?
There's a few folks in from Germany now. Guten Abend. Wie geht's?
I won't try language.
I tried this with Adam last night via text message. Do you want to come and tell them what you thought of it?
It was the work of the Illuminati. I knew that. I've had enough.
So just to tell you what's happening, I've got a photo the other side of here.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I'll put it there to keep it in view, and I'll keep my thumbs out of the way so everyone knows I'm not scrolling and doing all of this secret nonsense. I want you guys to imagine a rainbow above your head, a rainbow. Only the rainbows are made of paint. And you're going to reach up and grab one of the paints and come down and paint a canvas onto a blackboard, paint a canvas. So if you did go for green, you might choose to paint the countryside or a big field. Also, something that could go on a postcard, right? Something that could go on a postcard. But please don't go for a countryside, because I'm not trying to. That's obvious kind of influence. I'm not trying to push you. Oh, and I'm not trying to make you think of green either. Look at my case. I should have said that. Okay. So all I want you to do then is to just paint your scene. Paint whatever it is. Just as a basic kind of overlay. So that if you were in a field, you would just know, I'm in a field. Or if you were in the countryside, you would just know, I'm in the countryside. Wherever you are. Okay? I'll give you a few seconds to do that. So plot twist, the phone is actually being scrolled via Bluetooth by a monkey. No, it's just the Illuminati. It's just the Illuminati. Once you have your base kind of palette, in terms of you know exactly where you are, use the other colours as necessary to fill in some of the details. Okay, like if you were in the countryside, you might use some of the other colours to draw some flowers, or a couple of animals in the background, maybe a pub, this kind of thing. Add some detail to your drawing. Whatever you want, I don't care. But just make sure that your finished scene is beautiful enough, is picturesque enough, that it could foreseeably go on a postcard. And I'll give everyone a few moments to do that. Okay. So in the comments, whenever you're ready, I'm not going to move. Let me say a few kind of backgrounds, just so if people think Bluetooth is involved to a certain degree. I'll say a couple afterwards, after your decision is made. So yeah, just type in where you are, your basic one. So if you're in a field, just type in field. If you were in a house, type in house. If you were in a pub, type in pub. Wherever you were. And we'll give them a few minutes again. So Nathan's got a sunset in the beach. Ryan's in a brothel.
Of course he is.
Sunset over water, seaside, ocean floor. We've got sunset, water, beach. Ryan's changed his mind now, he's at an ocean with a boat on it. So here is what I was thinking. So a few of you got it. It's not bad going.
That's alright.
That's not bad going.
Yeah. We're in the ballpark.
We're in the ballpark. So, yeah, Ryan's done the mind-blown emoji. There's a beach. Nathan got it. Yeah, so a few of you picked up the vibes that I was laying down, and you guys are going to be in the Deductionist. You guys are going to be in the next episode. So if you could all sign your waivers on the way out.
That signs you up to the Illuminati.
We'll sign you up. That's the secret clause in the Illuminati as well. And well, the water was there. I like it. Oh, that's what I like about this kind of stuff, though. Right? Yeah. It's either going to work or it's not.
Yeah.
So let's see how we do with a game of rock, paper, scissors. Okay? You want top left.
Thank you.
Is that bottom corner or
The bottom corner.
so we got a draw, right?
Yeah.
Here, maybe guess. To draw. But I also had a guess the outcome of the game, and it didn't go right at all.
Wait a minute.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Look at that. We're at Undershore.
Oh my god.
We're at Undershore.
I was born to be free.
So, Von Burke is currently waiting for this Irish-American informant that's buying the information from him. When they eventually meet, there is a discussion surrounding the packages and the trading of them. One of them won't part with the other until the other gives over exactly what's needed, exactly what's required, and there's this little standoff moment until Von Burke exclaims loudly that you'll never get into that anyway. It's an impenetrable lock on my package. The code is August 1914. Altamont hands over his payment. It turns out to be a book on beekeeping and nothing more. Shocked by that, Von Burke actually had no idea that Altamont, his informant, was Sherlock himself. And the stories that Altamont had told of the German informants being sent to prison for previous infractions of a similar nature, he actually placed there himself. What does that take? What kind of deception, what kind of physical, psychological state does that require to put forth such an impressive performance? And more importantly, how do we see through it?
Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming along this evening.
So basically what I do is not so much from a writer's sense. I come at Sherlock Holmes from the man beneath the hat, as it were. You know, I try and figure out how he does the things that he does, and I've spent a great number of decades, you know, in pursuit of those skills that we all deemed fictional to a certain degree. So that's led me to become, you know, obsessed with puzzles. You know, I spend a great deal of time trying to curate my memory and how that works in certain observational practices, and I'm massively addicted to cocaine as well, so that's something to work on there too. So I thought it would be fun here this evening to create a mystery amongst you guys, specifically 3 of you. It is ingeniously titled by these numbered cards I have in front of me. You'll know that playing cards don't have a number 1, so I've used an ace instead. Okay? And just for argument's sake, I'm going to use you 3. You can stay exactly where you are. I just thought I'd forego the whole audience participation thing of pretending I don't exist and just democratically select 3 of you. So what we're going to do essentially is create a murder mystery. So I am going to have one of you killed. I realise you didn't sign for that on the dotted line, but I do dabble in the dark arts as well, so I can bring you back to. That's a flagrant lie, I don't. But there you go. So there is clearly going to be one who's presenting themselves sharper than the other, and I believe that's going to be you. So I'm going to give you those, okay? Now their identity isn't a secret, but they do form part of the mystery, okay? You can mix them up and all of that nonsense that you would expect from cards is fine, but at the end of the day I want you to just give one out to each of the remaining 2 participants. So you keep one and deal them out to each other. Oh, he's offering them in the standard fashion. What a showman. This is brilliant. Okay? And then please have a seat. What I'm going to do now is we're going to create the mystery part. I'm going to turn around, and if you could signal me when they're done, just so I'm not stood in the corner with my fingers in my ears the whole time. You're going to choose a killer amongst the 3 of you. And the way you're going to silently signal this is from the obvious thumbs up if you want to be good, and thumbs down if you want to be bad, okay? I'm looking at no directions, Paul, okay? I'm saying nothing, okay? But if you could give me the signal when that's been chosen, and obviously when I turn back around, please don't be sat there like this. Okay? Okay, so let me show you then. The reason for the cards is that as part of my work, I work with certain behavioural profiling groups across the world. It's a great deal of fun, but we get to that point of understanding which certain psychologies, as it were, of certain sets of people are more adept at the darker practices. So I am going to try and figure it out. But I've also tried to have a guess in advance of who is more prone to the stabbier way of life. Okay, so we'll get back to these shortly. I just wanted to show you them. Anyway, next to draw your attention to our rogues gallery, we have a series of plastic weapons. Okay, not that I don't trust any of you, Paul. I'm just saying that. We want to avoid injuries, okay? So we have what I've never seen that before in my life, but I'm told that's a replica of a ninja scythe. But make of that what you will. That is a small dagger. They give those out to the children of Stoke-on-Trent on a regular basis. It's a small firearm. We have nunchucks, a knife, and a ninja throwing star. Just for your own protection, the edges are rounded completely to form a full circle as well. So, and again, when I turn my back once more, our killer is going to stand up, choose a weapon to place behind your back. Okay, obviously don't make it so uncomfortable that you're uncomfortable in your seats and you're giving away the tells. Okay, and with the remaining weapons that aren't chosen, you can put them in the bag. You can put them towards the back of the room. You can throw them outside. We don't need them. Okay, and if you could just signal me when they've done all that again. Please, as we've got a 20-minute slot, feel free to take your time. It's fine. Cool. Amazing. Well hidden. Now, this is where the fun starts. Because there's one of you that's going to start to feel nervous.
So the story itself, when it came out, it was believed to be a propaganda tool to keep English morale alive during the war. And what we get from this entire concept, this entire context, is the many differing ways in which codes can be interpreted and the different meanings that they can give off depending upon who it is that you're talking to and the kind of backgrounds that they come from. So to that end, when you're specifically coming up with a code, it needs to be direct and generic all at once.
This is where the fun starts, because there's one of you that's going to start to feel nervous, because you know you've got a job to do. You as the killer, you essentially serve a purpose. You have to murder one of your fellow patrons. I know I said I was going to have one of you killed, but I hope to be working tomorrow, so I can't have the blame laid at my door. So just for a final time, I'm going to turn around, and just for our viewing audience, one of you is about to die in the most horrifically over-the-top, soap opera, dramatic-driven way that you can. In a moment. The death is going to occur when I snap my fingers. I only want the killer to select their victim when my back is turned. Okay? Okay. Now. Okay. Right. Let's try this. I wonder what the weapon was. That's our first instance. We'll come back to this. We'll see how we do first of all with the tells. Okay. Nice, fidgeting's good. I like that all three of you are now silently holding as swiftly as possible, keen to not give anything away, because this is an awkward situation to be in. I grant you. You turned up expecting to just defend something you love, you know, not murder one of your friends, which is fine. It's fine. But we are looking for those little tells, and I don't know if you get them on the camera. But it's the tells of somebody that starts to become uncomfortable in their seat, not least of all just because they're sitting on a weapon. Okay, let's try this. I'll take your cards back. What were you? You were a 2. You were a 3, and you were a 1. You got the mystery, the ace of spades. Fair enough. Okay. I'm not suggesting anything, it's fine. I think I'm more nervous about this than you guys are, to be fair. Right. Let's try this. Let's have one of you killed then. Are you ready?
So the story is coming to a crescendo. Altamont has revealed himself to be Sherlock Holmes, who, in his growth of the character of Altamont, managed to infiltrate secret societies, figure out the leaks in the British government and the like, and his chauffeur, Watson, the whole time has come along for the ride, a dissembling of this acquisition of intelligence on the British people. And they state at the end, as they look out, there's an east wind coming. Watson, misinterpreting this as the human that he is, says, actually, Holmes, it's quite warm outside. To which we get the eponymous line, Watson, you are the fixed point in an ever-changing age.
Should I ask you, are you feeling nervous, by the way?
No.
Getting a new tattoo?
No.
For the sake of art?
Yeah, I mean, look at me. I'm old hat at tattoos at this stage. This is the
You are
part,
more tattoo than man.
Yeah, this is the part that I feel sorry for most people having to do, is shaving me.
It's my favourite bit. I come to work, I wake up every morning knowing I've got to shave somebody.
And we're off.
So welcome back to another episode of The Deductionist. Ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing you more unconventional treats for you this evening.
Quite so.
It doesn't get any more unconventional than this, I reckon. Who else is out there bleeding? I'm not bleeding. Who else is out there getting stabbed multiple times for the joy of their podcast? Very few other people. So
We've called the police, they're on their way.
Yeah, they're on their way. They won't be able to get in, but they're on their way. It's fine. So we're here with Nathan Lee of Nathan Lee Tattoos, who has his own YouTube channel, by the way, so I encourage you to head on over there, give him a follow, and check out some of his work, because it's truly fucking spectacular. And I'm not just saying that just because he's stabbing me, by the way, without looking at the phone. So when you just looked at that picture, you focused on the image of whatever card it was. Mm-hmm. Did you notice what colour the floor was?
I think so.
Okay, what was it?
Greeny brown? Browny green?
It was more of a greyer. Now I can't ask you about the floor because you're more primed towards that area, so there's different things. So still keep your card in mind, don't ever forget it.
Yeah.
But just, is your card in that picture?
Yes.
What card was next to your card on either the right or left? Was it a face down or a face up one? I don't want to detail, not a clue.
Not a clue.
That's fine. Well, that's fine. But this is the idea, how information can be right there in front. And I mean, it's the same for my role.
Yeah.
It can be right there in front of you, but unless you've got the preparation for it here, you're never going to notice it.
No.
You're never. Same thing again. Is it in that one?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Good way. What colour was the back design of the playing cards? The brightest colour that you could see.
Red.
Perfect. Perfect. That felt quite easy to recall, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we can make the arguments that that's because it's the same deck of cards throughout, you've had an overexposure to this, but you've not really been focusing on it, so it's easy to pick that apart. So, same thing again, mate. Is it in that one?
Yes.
Yes.
You can see I'm spending more time looking at the picture now.
The carpet that was down on the floor, and I'm telling you that ahead of time, did it remind you of any particular decade or era?
Art Deco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon.
And it was very much after that because it's pretty much a carbon copy of the carpet from The Shining. Same thing again. Is it in that picture?
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
No.
Okay, look away. We'll try and skip through them a bit more, and I'll give you a colour. Is it in that one?
Yes.
Yeah, look away.
Okay.
How many cards, in your estimation, were face up? I know the number, but were face up.
19?
19. Pretty close, actually. It was actually 17.
Okay.
Pretty close. Alright, last time, because this is the last picture in the album. Is your card in there?
No.
No. So I could look at this and have no direct information in terms of what your card is because it's not there. You can categorically tell me that. And you've not. It's going to sound like, oh, it's a magic show. You've not written it down. I've not asked you.
No.
Okay. So there's lots of red here.
Yeah.
And just the occasional black one.
Yeah.
So I would base that your card is a black suited card. Is that right?
Yes.
Perfect. So what we've got pretty much an even distribution between hearts and diamonds, but one picture, and there's more of the higher end numbers than there is the lower end. So maybe we're looking at something like a 7, 8, 9, something like that.
Yes.
One of those.
Yes.
Perfect. Clubs though, that's most likely. That's just a.
Yes.
Clubs, perfect. Okay. I'm going to go for the 7 of clubs.
Yeah.
Is that the one? No, but that's the thing with appreciation, because it stands out more to me. Maybe if I twist it that way, you can actually appreciate why it is the 7 of clubs.
That's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Really good.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
Love it.
If we got to that end photo and you're like, yes, the King of Hearts. Well, fuck it then. Yeah. So this one would require your phone because I need you to go to a website. So what you're going to do is scroll through the album.
Yeah.
Scroll through backwards, forwards, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then I want you to settle on an image that you feel you would be capable of tattooing without a lot of preparation.
Okay.
That's it. That's the only driving force I want behind it.
Okay. So I've got to scroll through this album on my phone that I've just been given the website to. It's just loaded up. I'm not sure how many images there are. We're being filmed on another channel. So we have to do. Are you asking me to pick the one with the least amount of preparation?
Yeah. So something that if I were to bring you in this image and go tattoo me this, you could go right, boss, let's do it.
Right. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go because essentially I've got to pick an image which is going to be fast for tattooing or easily prepared, and with the skills of Photoshop, I can run through that process in my head and pick the right image which is going to be fastest for that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to the start, which is I've gone past the start. Where was the start?
Is that?
I think it will eventually just go back round. It's like a few hundred.
It's a few hundred of them.
We have a contender.
We have a contender.
Okay.
Just kind of look at them all as a challenge now, as a tattoo challenge, as opposed to like, doing the job. So I'm going to stick with this one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, man.
Can I come back in?
Yes.
Cool.
I'm going to hide the phone from you for now.
I will keep my distance.
Social distancing.
Okay.
So, right. So if you were to go up to you imagine you're on holiday in Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? And if you were to go up to, I don't think anybody sends these anymore, but if postcards were still a thing,
Sure.
right? What are some of the things that would drive you to choose a specific postcard? Because obviously you go for who you're sending it to. Like if I was sending it to my dad, I'd want one of the old Viz cartoons that were joking about people on the beach and whatnot and these kinds of things. So would you be looking at more like, this is what Vegas looks like, or some kind of joke or some kind of reference to the nightlife or something like that? What would be driving you in that area?
To pick a postcard to send to my family.
Yeah, anyone.
If or to whoever, if I was in that area and I wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if because of where you were, you want to show Las Vegas has got like a reputation, hasn't it?
Of course.
So you'd want to show the lights and you'd want to
Yeah.
show the everything exciting about Las Vegas within a postcard, so people can, you know what I mean? It's,
Got you.
You want people to be
So
excited.
you can live vicariously sort of through
Yeah,
that. Got you.
yeah.
Okay, got you. And then, I mean, side note, have you actually ever been to Vegas?
I haven't, you know.
Okay. Do you know anything about what's there and whatnot?
People with severe gambling habits.
Alright. So, We'll put American cuisine then as a whole, not just specific to Vegas. If the second you get off the plane, what's the first thing you think about eating? In America.
In America.
I mean, obviously, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So you
My brain thinks burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Well,
Cool.
That's just because I associate burgers with being American.
That's fine. I can work with that. I can work with that. And for your ideal first trip, if I were to ask you to plan to go to Vegas right now, I mean, obviously you take your missus and the like, but would you prefer to do it just as a couple, or would you prefer a big endeavour with family and friends and whatever, given that it is Vegas, you know, it's fit for that kind of thing?
I personally would, yeah, it'd be nice to have the whole family there. Vegas is quite a big trip.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, just to be in Vegas would be quite nice. But yeah, I guess whenever I go on holiday, I want the whole family to be there. So.
Of course. And let me explain the reason for my questions, right? The reason for my questions is they always involve other people. Tattooing, the specific reason for the choice of that, is a solitary experience based on the individual capabilities of the artist and the capabilities of what you're comfortable with doing, yada yada yada, that kind of thing, the previous content that we spoke about. So there's two things in opposition. So I should be able to reverse engineer the detail to pick the most likely one of that, because you spoke about colour and nightlife and vibrancy and vicariousness and the immediate association of burgers and family and friends and people. So whatever you chose, it won't have a great deal of that. It will be more about the iconography of a building or a thing, but it will be by itself. And in terms of the colour, there might be different shades of the same thing, but it won't stray too far in terms of, like, I don't think you chose the big neon cowboy, for example. I don't think you chose it.
Yeah, because fuck tattooing a giant neon cowboy.
I'm making no secret of the fact that I created that album, so I know.
You know what's in there.
I know 100% what's in there, so I'm in a better position to try and figure this out. It's not like you just pluck one out of the air.
Sure.
You're working within a sphere of thought. So I reckon that you would have gone for one of the versions of the stratosphere, which is the big needle thing with what looks like a UFO in the middle.
Focus.
Are you
nervous?
This is the biggest fucking drum roll about.
Oh, fantastic.
Well done. Well done.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, well done.
I mean, I tried to make them all my own.
It's too late, mate. It's too late.
That's awesome. Yeah, very well done.
Thank you. And that was I've always been quite honest about it. That was the thing about psychological pressure. If you focus on what's fast, that forces you to, hopefully, try and get you to make a decision like that.
Yeah, sweet. Well done, Dave.
Thanks very much, mate. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you very much.
appreciate it.
Thank you. So bloody British.
Oh, he's down for the count. Fabulous. Do be careful of your back, by the way. I'm very concerned that you are off. But this is brilliant. So, Paul, just remind me of your number. You were a 2. And you were the 1. And you were the 3. We'll save those for the end. Now, I put a lot of pressure on people this evening, mainly arguably to single one of you out, mainly arguably for you to figure out who show their inner psychopaths, okay? And there's one person that's been sat awkwardly throughout all of this, not just you, okay? But I'm going to save you for the end, for her, or his, possible big reveal. But I think, given our artistic mindset that collectively all of us have, that will have singled out one weapon amongst all. Okay, the minute I say this out loud, someone's going to react and give this away. Okay?
The weapon's definitely the side that was chosen, yes? The ninja side, that's good, and you reacted, this is fabulous. You reacted with a smile, because he mentioned earlier that you weren't good with public speaking, so you're going to react, you know, as per your mindset, but you just seem particularly calm this whole time, okay, which leads me to believe that you're our killer.
I'm a bleeding psycho, isn't I?
You're a bleeding psycho. But you did choose the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, arguably, this is where my predictions with this behavioural group comes into betterment with everyone else. So if you take out your envelope and hand me the piece of paper, just so I can show everyone here as well. We have our victim. Our survivor. Our survivor as well.
Right, you filming?
I am.
You're filming, right, Ben? So this is a tradition, this is an undershore tradition.
Okay.
That when a writer comes to undershore,
Okay.
we get them to sit behind Sir Arthur's desk.
Okay.
So if you go and sit in the chair, please.
Okay.
So, at this very desk, no, it wasn't really this desk, but this is a new desk.
This room.
This room, and in that position there.
Yeah.
So there are many pictures of Sir Arthur sitting there, writing, and you're looking out basically over the beautiful South Downs over there.
Yes.
And we have a little tradition, any MX writer that comes here, the tradition started by the wonderful editor David Markham, who penned the first line of his next book.
Okay.
So what you need to do, you just need to write a few words or a sentence, and that's the start of your next book. Or a future book. So, you've just emulated the man who, at that desk, in that position, wrote Hand of Baskervilles.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes back to life after killing him off a racetrack. So, look forward to it as being as successful worldwide, the next book, as the Hound was.
Thank you.
Congratulations, mate.
Thank you. Cheers. I appreciate that.
Hey.
There is an idea of a plan, and if your emotional qualities are too antagonistic to clear reasoning, then that plan can make you blind to the truth. You need to eliminate the impossible, and whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. We all have those moments in time in which we remember exactly where we were and what we were doing. The very first instant that I saw my dear Mary smile, or the first time that I heard my friend admit that he could be beaten by a woman, no less. For artists, it might have been the passing of Van Gogh, when a sporting enthusiast is able to witness the first county cricket match. My point is simply that for me, this case represented a marker in what my dear friend Sherlock Holmes referred to as a locked room mystery.
How long does it take to
You can move.
So thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for commenting, for sharing if you do, because without you guys we wouldn't be able to do this. And we know that compared to some of the other people, we're quite small, but we are dedicated, we are committed, probably should be committed, fans of exactly this particular field, and we love you and appreciate you for watching.
Right, well, that's it then, mate.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Cool, there you go.
Thank you.
See you in a bit.
Sorted. Oh, at the end of the last episode...
Can you tell us how exactly you survived the cliff fall at the end of episode 6?
Come in, Clive. A little bit. So,
At the last two episodes, obviously, we keep alluding back to how you survived at the end of episode 6.
right.
You're finally going to tell us.
Yeah. Is how you do it, right?
Okay.
which is easy, right, when you think about it.
Lord Vader, can you hear me?
Batting kind of what on both sides.
Excellent.